Hello everyone and welcome back to SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 13th August of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Let's talk about Bethesda versus Sony today. So, in a recent interview for a site called, GameInformer.com, the senior vice president of Global Marketing and Communications, Pete Hines, talked about their upcoming, well, it's not really upcoming, it's been on PC for some time, but upcoming PlayStation and Xbox and Switch release this year, The Elder Scrolls Legends, which is a card game pretty much along the lines of Hearthstone or upcoming Artifact. You know, anything, if you played Magic, you know what's the deal. And he talked about the fact that Bethesda really wants constant progression over all the available platforms. That means if you have an account, then it applies to all platforms. And as we do know, Sony really dislikes this. This came out to the spotlight when it was discovered that if you want to play Fortnite on the Switch and you already have a PlayStation account, you're pretty much not able to, and it hasn't been solved yet. So what he said more specifically so initially he said that The Elder Scrolls Legends is a strategy card game that encompasses both single and multiplayer. It is both cross-platform play and cross-platform progress. At which point, the person who was having a talk with him in QuakeCon, Andrew Reiner, cut him off and said that it should only be certain systems, since he figured out that it would most likely not apply to PS4. And Hines replied, "It is our intention, in order for the game to come out, it has to be those things on any systems. We cannot have a game that works one way across everywhere else except for on this one thing. The way the game works right now on Apple, Google, Steam, and Bethesda.net, it doesn't matter where you buy your stuff. If you play it on another platform, that stuff is there. It doesn't matter what platform you play on, you play against everyone else who is playing at the moment. There is no, oh, it's easier to control, or it has better frame rate on the system. It's a strategy card game. It doesn't matter." So the interviewer pressed on him to figure out how exactly they want to do that if Sony doesn't press their stance. And Hines added, "We continue to talk to all our platform partners, but those terms are essentially non-negotiable. We can't be talking about one version of Legends where you take your progress with you and another version where you stay within that ecosystem and is walled off from everything else. This is counter to what the game has been about." And yesterday during the podcast, I was talking somewhat critically about Bethesda, but today I have to not congratulate them. I need to endorse them. They need to keep this up. They need to say to Sony, if you don't implement this, Sony 76 won't be coming to PlayStation. And our future games aren't either. Because Fallout 76 is a big enough game for Sony to consider that if Xbox had it as an exclusive, and not to mention if it would also apply to future games, so let's say to The Elder Scrolls 6, that could seriously impact consumer decisions on which future console they buy. Though obviously I would just prefer them to buy a computer because, let's face it, gaming on a computer is superior in almost every regard. So, yeah, I'm really rooting here for Bethesda. Stand still, be sure to stand your ground, don't fall and make Sony regret their previous decisions. Force them into enabling crossplay. I really want to see crossplay, and not only because I want to see crossplay with PlayStation users for Chibera to Xbox and PC users as well, though that is partly the reason. I want to play Rocket League with my friends who play on PlayStation. I have plenty of friends who play on a PlayStation. They are at a similar level to where I am, but I cannot group up with them because arbitrary Sony reasons. What's the deal with that? Sony, get your shit together and allow just full-on crossplay between all platforms. Everybody will be happy. The consumers will praise you for this. And you being jerks about this is just hurting you. It hurts your public image. It actually hurts your revenue stream, I'm going to assume. Because if people could decide, oh, I can play this game when I have it on PlayStation, and I can play with my PC friends, but I don't have any PS friends that will play this, I'm just not going to buy this if it's a primary multiplayer game. But you will just get access to more users to buy the games they actually want to buy, but maybe they do not have people to play them with. Is it really that hard to understand this very basic economic concept? The broader your audience, the more potential money you can make. It's one of the basic tenets of economics. It's really not that hard. So, please Sony, add crossplay, whether it's going to be through the Elder Scrolls Legends, but ideally just enable it for everyone. Everyone will be happy, and in the end, you will be happy as well. Believe me, you will. And if you don't, it's going to be the same problem as the Xbox One had when that launched. Remember that? When consumers were pissed off about the system, and that's why you currently have a majority on the market? It's not because your console was that much better in regards of its hardware or exclusives. It was because people were pissed about Microsoft because they wanted always online. They wanted to attach the Kinect to the deal, and people were scared. People didn't want an always online console. They didn't want to connect, bundle into their console. And right now, people really want crossplay. Give it to the consumers. You know it's the correct decision. Don't be idiots. It's not worth it. Seriously. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you are watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow for more gaming news, as we are your source of daily gaming news every single day. See you guys later with more gaming content.